And we're back with Neural Sim with my main run first. So for this one, to avoid being interrupted, I just use skill on the range unit and just block the melee and then shoot it. And to be honest, for this part, I just got lucky that I hit my last basic attack on that melee mob and then use the skill on the range mob. So I was able to shorten the run a bit.
Nineful blaze, burn them to ash.
You know what? I think it's been a while since we fought this boss. I feel like the runtime before is like 40 seconds plus. And now the runtime is way faster with the newer units. And here's Fenny Pureheart. He's actually a second faster than my Longyan team. But unfortunately, I need Siris on the other team. Also, all three units only have tier 1 orange gun. So you can definitely go faster on higher investments. Like this part, I wasn't able to reach the invulnerability after the ult. I still need to use skill there.
Let's see what's left. Shall we hit the showers together?
But yeah, for now it's a second faster than Longyan. And we have Acacia Chrono Echo team.
Let's air support in position.
Now with what I have to do the last hit on the range mob. And then I just do the same thing as what I did with Longyan. You know, I block the melee mob.
Flash. Let's see what's left. Flash. Yeah, not a single one will slip past me. Transphase force. Crescent. Allow me to set the stage.
Now to be honest, I don't know if I overstuck with the ult here. But Acacia also only have tier 1 orange, so it can be better on higher investment. So she's a second slower than Fenny Pureheart.
Like it, darling.
And then we have Haru Raikou, which is, I am surprised that she is the 4th fastest on this run. Although to be fair, she did clear the mobs really fast.
Do keep going, darling.
And then for this part, I think it could have been slightly better. Because that range mob didn't get defeated the same time as the melee mob. And because of that, the ultimate ran out, as you can see here. Although it's not too bad since I only needed to close one line and then press and hold the skill. It's still a pretty good runtime though for me. You know, it's only 4 seconds slower than Acacia or Longyan. Although again, to be fair, the boss is weak to chaos and then also weak to skill damage. And just being able to beat these mobs really fast, you know, gives her a lot more of an advantage than Chenxing here. And if I remember correctly, this boss has a 40 electrical resistance. But Vidya does help, you know, reducing that resistance a little bit.
I've foreseen your inevitable end.
And it's 1 second slower than Haru Raikou. And we have the previous unit that I typically use for this boss, which is Siris Ksana. And again these days, Fenny Pureheart just overshadows Siris Ksana in terms of combat, while Fritia Turbo kind of overshadows her in terms of mobility. And she's 2 seconds slower than Chensing here.
I'll keep it safe.
And 8 seconds slower than Fenny. And we have Cherno Enigma here. Back then, Cherno is a very strong unit. She was like the very first of its kind to power creep the previous units. Like, she's just an all-rounder. But these days, her skill rotation makes her a bit slower than the other units out there. We can always put Test the Magician with her to ult way early, but is it really worth it to put Test here than Aquila or Vidya? Especially when her ult damage doesn't scale with the U energy. Although that can work possibly on squishy bosses. But boss these days have a lot of HP. And she's 3 seconds slower than Siris Ksana. And here's Nerida. Although this is her boss, she only has tier 5 purple gun. And she's just M0. Along with Myra and Riptide with just M5 purple as well. So for this one, it can definitely be way faster on higher investments.
Not a single one will slip past me. Please allow me to set the stage.
Can't hurt us. Fear the darkness.
This
is the beginning.
Leave it to me.
Can't hurt us.
And with what Nerida has, she's still only 2 seconds slower than Cherno Enigma. And here's Bubu Specular Soul since I did get her weapon. And she is still M0 and we are fighting against a boss that's better for skill DPS.
Not a single one will slip past me.
Would have been nice if I can save the last stack on the mobs, but oh well.
Let's see what's...
Take this. You can't escape. Don't slow.
Do keep going, darling.
I guide the reflection.
And I do need to go near it because the last hit of the ultimate only has a short range for some reason. And with the tier 1 orange, she's still 0.1 seconds slower than Nerida.
Mission success.
And we have Katya Rhapsody, which has quite a disadvantage since the boss also has a 40 frost rest plus the additional 25% frost rest for this week.
Sending all my luck your way. Magic engaged.
Now this is interesting.
Sending all my luck your way. Sending all my luck your way.
Now aside from Tess having a tier 2 orange, both Katya and Vidya still only has tier 1 orange. But all of them are M3 though,
Climb the high ground.
and seems like she's only a second slower than my current Bubu Specular Soul. And here's Nita Pulse.
Leave this one to me.
And I was trying to beat the mouse without using Vidya. Good thing they're both in range now.
Run. Shut. Inferno, burn it all to the ground.
And for this part, I'm trying to not use all of the skill combo.
Back to the gutters.
Would have been better if I was able to take them both down at once, but you know, that's fine.
Not looking great. Back to the gutters. got this. That should be the last of them.
And it's 6 seconds lower than Katya Rhapsody.
Yes.
And here's Lyfe Infinite Sight,
We'll be together as well.
because why not? And yes, she is with Aquila since Aquila is just easier with the mobs and not needing to recast, unlike Vidya.
Do keep going, darling.
Don't slow me down, okay? Don't slow me down, okay? Don't slow me down, okay?
Not a single one will slip past me.
Don't slow me down, okay?
All within control. Let's see. Valhalla awaits.
And she's 3 seconds lower than Nita Pulse. And this was a bit tricky, by the way.
90%.
Basically, I pressed Q and then I use support skill and then press E and then shoot. Then Q support skill E and then shoot. I did that because that melee enemy always interrupts me. So that's the only way that I can think of to, have a work around it. To make the start stable and less RNG. And seems like I only need 4 skills for this, so that's kind of perfect. And I just ready my stack here, and hopefully I can hit the mobs real quick.
I got you all. Use it. Air protection advised.
And for this part, I just went inside the shield to be safe. And she's 0.3 slower than Lyfe Infinite Sight. While she does have the disadvantage of the element, she is still skill DPS. And here's Haru Absconditus, because why not? I just wanted to use her on the boss fight. She does have Iron Body on M3, but my Haru is only M2. Also, I really do think they can make a workaround with Haru, like adding multiple damage with her skill on a boss. Like maybe there's something that she can hit, like only she can hit from these bosses. But they never added it, sadly. I guess the only good thing here is that it's still easily clearable with Haru Absconditus.
A lovely sound.
Allow me to set the stage.
Absconditus.
Allow me to set the stage. Do keep going, darling.
Repeat.
Allow me to set the stage.
Someday I'll fall, but not today, and not to you. Can you feel the weight of this victory?
I sadly don't Haru since it's above 60, but Raikou was far better though. Anyway, here's the Myra boss, and I did not expect the previous runs to take 14 minutes already. But yeah, this is my current fastest run on this Myra Crimson Warform. I do manually remove Vidya's support skill here to reduce her cooldown. I need to wait for the boss to go down or my ult will not hit for some reason. Also, this boss is tough for Vidya if the run is longer since the boss can just remove their support skill.
Getting dizzy. Don't forget to save.
been mistaken.
And yeah, I only did it once,
Glad you
so
like it.
maybe it
darling.
could have been better.
Oh.
And here's with Longyan team, although there is a chance that you can miss her skill because of how the boss moves. And then I went right below it so that I won't be interrupted when I use skill later.
Now I'm intrigued. Forcing my full attention? You cannot bear the cost. Sending all my luck your way.
Do keep going, darling.
Dance in the flames of the divine fox. Cleansing fire.
I have
Easier than anticipated.
mistaken.
So 6 seconds lower than Acacia.
This is starting to get fun.
And here's the Fenny team, although if you do have this the Magician again, you could possibly do this faster. I can sort of only recommend it against this boss because it has a lot more HP than the previous boss.
Enough of this nonsense.
The truth is out.
All of you, down! It's nothing. Don't you worry, darling.
A practical lesson then.
It's nothing. Don't you worry, darling. Feel the heat.
Could I have been mistaken?
And it's 4 seconds lower than
Not
Longyan.
too bad, huh?
And here's the OG unit that I typically use on this boss.
By my
Although I do use Yao Nightglow before she is free pin. And since the run is longer, there's a higher chance for the boss to remove video support skill again,
of this
like after invulnerability. I'd say maybe around 50% of her HP,
Consequential.
but still also depends on what she's doing. So maybe her movement is a bit longer, so that gives us more time to stack, although,
Arrows,
you know,
find your target.
still risky. And with what I have, I needed around maybe 22 or 23 stacks because, you know, 20 and 21 I did try and it didn't finish it.
A reward for me?
And it's 5 seconds lower than Fenny Pureheart. And here's Katya Rhapsody. You know, slightly a bit easier, but you will still get interrupted if you don't dodge the attack after the invulnerable phase.
enough of this.
And you definitely need to have a better aim since this boss moves a lot. And honestly, I can barely see what I'm shooting. I only know that I'm hitting it because of the numbers.
No escape, enemy.
Sending all my luck your way. Got this.
A practical lesson then.
Truth is,
I have
I'm the
been
enemy. Let's wrap this up already.
And it's 2 seconds lower than Chenxing.
I will
And again, here's Bubu Specular Soul since I did pull on her weapon. I'm just trying to make the most of that investment.
Mirror captures all.
no more running away.
May all evil be purged. Break.
And that's a 1 full rotation.
Of this nonsense.
Crime doesn't pay.
Okay, focus on the mission. Cascading light. Take this.
Target lost.
Don't slow me down, okay? I guide the reflection.
I see you.
And as you can see here, she started using the cleanse, although she's almost out anyway.
Mistaken.
And that is almost a minute. 14 seconds slower than Katya.
Mission success.
At the run.
And sadly, I don't really have any support teams for this week, sadly. They're just way slower, and the boss is just way chunkier for our Octus Drive team. Even though I am using one, this is already above a minute. But you know what, why not, since it's not really tough for Haru Raikou to beat it. So I typically just tap ult, use skill, and then tap ult again to close the line.
Do keep going.
For me, it's slightly easier to use than ult skill. There's just a lot more times that this boss dodged my ult skill than ult skill ult.
Raikou.
And I was a bit earlier on that ult, so that didn't hit it.
Do keep
Barely a mark. Nothing to worry about.
flash.
I see you.
Allow me to set the
Target
stage.
lost.
Flash.
I see you.
Yeah.
Barely a mark. Nothing to worry about.
I was able to dodge that,
I have
so it can probably be a second or two faster. But yeah, it's 73 seconds,
suits me
more than a minute. And here's the boss info. It's weak to skill damage, weak to chaos, and it has a high electrical and phosphorus. While the other boss has the same high electrical and phosphorus, but it's more weaker to kinetic. And here's the buff and debuff for this week. Skill damage plus 30%. It has more thermal, this boss for this week. Lower damage on ballistic. And we shouldn't dodge if we're using ballistic. And for the other boss, okay, this has a lower crit damage and higher frost resistance. And here is the build used, starting from the very top with Acacia Chrono Echo, Tier 1, attack alignment, typically for skill DPS and M3. And here's Lyfe Infinite Sight, Tier 2, and double attack alignment and attack skill haste, and M3. Here's Nita Pulse, she's an Octus Drive unit, so most of what I have is free. Aside from that third logistics stat and max Octus Drive, of course. And same with Fritia Sparkdrive here. She's an Octus Drive unit as well. And most of the supports here, we got one free copy of them on release. Aside from the weapon, of course, we need to pull for that. So only Tier 1 weapon and M3. And I didn't pull for Riptide, so it's just Tier 5 purple. And the free logistics and M2. Haru Raikou is Octus Drive, so pretty much the same as the other Octus Drive out there, where it's all free unless you change her logistics substats, of course. Haru Absconditus, standard weapon Tier 2, Star Ocean, and Tebas, attack alignment. And just M2. Here's Cherno Enigma, Tier 2, and attack alignment. and M2. Here's Fenny Pureheart, Tier 1, Attack Alignment, and M3. Here's Fenny Starshine, Tier 1, and Attack Alignment. Oh yeah, that's a free logistics. Your free support M2. Siris Pin is also a free support, or 1 copy, Tier 1, and free logistics before M2. Siris Ksana, Tier 2, Attack Max HP, and M3. Chensing Jade Art, Tier 2, and Attack Crit Damage, and M4. Here's Katya Rhapsody, Tier 1, Attack Alignment, and M3. Here's Acacia, Tier 2, because I do enjoy using her, and Attack Alignment. I did change this last one, yeah. And M3. And if you have a good test magician, you know, hopefully M3, and with signature weapon, you can use her with Fenny Pureheart. Here's Vidya Celestial Swan, Tier 1. She's not a free support. Attack Alignment with her signature weapon, and M3. Here's Bubu Specular Soul, Tier 1. Attack crit damage for now, and M0. Here's Nerida, Tier 5 Purple, Attack Alignment, and also M0. And last but not the least, Longyan Divine Fox, Tier 2, and Attack crit damage. And M1. And that's about it.